Lin, a light-skinned young man with white hair, under a ogre cloak and ogre sword. On his back, Sinju, a dark-skinned young man with locked hair and an all-black dragon. Scale cloak after they had upgraded and evolved from slaying a god and inheriting his power. Lin wanted to kill time and training and just test out his new skills with Sinju after a long, brutal battle of them, bruising each other and healing and trash-talking. They finally were done, and went to have a chat with their friend King Jake, a skinny kid. With glasses and king attire, Lin and Sinju wanted to catch up. I mean, he had a whole wife and kid now, as they sat down at the table to eat and drink Jake's son. Kale, what a buzzing with excitement. I heard all about you guys. My dad told me how you helped him defeat the evil king, and just let him be the king of this kingdom. You guys are my heroes. I hear all of your stories. About your adventures, can I please go on adventure with you guys? Just once he asked Lin and Sinju. Sinju just laughed while taking a sip of his ale. Well, it depends. What did your dad teach you, and what kind of skills do you have? Sinju asked. Kale revealed that he is a summoner class. But doesn't he actually have anything to summon because he doesn't go on dungeons or anything? He just trained with his dad. Lin just took a sip of his ale and sighed and bored. That's a weak power, man. Sinju bumped Lin on the shoulder. I don't listen to him. I'm also a summoner class. Sinju said, what really? Kale's eyes widened. You are? But you fight with daggers and shadows. Sinju grinned, a rare sight. The shadows are my summons, kid. The strongest ones are those that are always with you. Lin scoffed, unconvinced. Playing with shadows is one thing, but a summoner with nothing to summon is just a liability. If you want to come with us, you have to prove you're not dead weight. He leaned forward, his gaze intense. We're going to give you a test. Right here, right now. Kale looked nervously at his father, King Jake, who simply nodded, giving his silent approval. Okay, Kale said, his voice trembling slightly but filled with determination. What's the test? Sinju stood up. Follow us to the training grounds. The test is simple. You need to summon something. Anything. It doesn't matter how small or weak. You just need to show us you have the spark. On the training grounds, Lin stood with his arms crossed, his ogre sword resting on his shoulder. Don't waste our time, kid. Sinju placed a hand on Kale's shoulder. Ignore him. Close your eyes. A summoner doesn't just call a creature. He forms a bond with its spirit. Feel the world around you. Reach out with your mind, not for a beast, but for a friend. Kale took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and concentrated. The air grew still. Minutes passed. Lin was about to call it quits when a faint shimmer appeared in front of Kale. It flickered and died. See? Nothing, Lin said, turning to leave. Wait, Sinju whispered. Kale was sweating, his face pale, but he didn't give up. He reached out again, this time pouring all his hope and desperation into his call. Suddenly, the ground trembled. A small crack appeared, and from it, a tiny golem made of rock and moss pulled itself out. It was no bigger than Kale's fist, with 2 glowing pebbles for eyes. It wobbled on its feet, then walked over and nudged Kale's shoe. Kale opened his eyes and gasped. Lin stopped and turned around, his eyes wide with surprise. Sinju smiled. A Terra Golem! A rare elemental summon. He looked at Lin. Well, he has his spark. Lin looked at the tiny golem, then at the exhausted but beaming Kale. A slow grin spread across his face. All right, kid. You're not entirely useless. We'll take you to a beginner's dungeon, but if you slow us down, I'm using your golem as a throwing rock. Kale cheered, his little golem raising its tiny rock fists in triumph.